right, we're rolling, all right? We're filming. So, what's up, YouTube? So today I'm with Kevin right now.
I'm
Kev Dog. I'm with Kev Dog, and we're actually going to be a little bit different today. We're going to do like a little bit of a training thing with Kevin. Kevin's going to be with me for the next, I don't know, how long do you think I'm going to be?
like 2 months, a month and a half.
So what is it exactly that we have to do? We got to do 40 hours of drive time, like passenger drive time, and then you got to do 120 hours of
Driving time.
behind the wheel. Okay. And the 120 hours is going to be with me.
Right.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. And
So
why did you want to get into truck driving? Like, how did that come about, dude? Like,
honestly, I feel like it's been calling me, like, even from like my previous job that I had. There was like some, like, I don't know, he took he took interest in me in a way that like he thought I was a good worker. And he had just gotten his license, and he was like some older guy, you know. And then like he pretty much was like, man, like I see like a lot of potential in you, and this and that, like you should get your trucker's license, like, you know, like you should do it. But at that time, you know, I was still being, I don't know, I just felt like I was still being like
procrastinating.
Yeah,
like, oh, I don't want to do it. I'll find something better.
Exactly. Like just being stupid. And I was, you know, at some point, I guess, like after I got this job, I just felt like it just kept calling me, and then it was like a sign, kind of like, you know, maybe this is what I need to do. Maybe this is what I need to do to take that next level. So,
yeah, for sure. I agree with you, dude. And I'm glad you did it. Like, when you first told me, you started like asking me questions when we were in the yard about like, what do I have to do to get my license and stuff like that. I thought you were just blowing smoke up my ass. Because that's not the first time I've heard someone ask. But the fact that you were able to, you know, do it and actually get it done as quick. How long did it take you to get your license?
just 1 month.
A month to get your Class A license. And now you're trying to add all of your endorsements to it. Okay.
Yeah, I was very hungry for it, you know, like I wanted it really badly. I mean, like I said, I went to school every day, and, you know, took a little vacation just for it, you know, like 2 week vacation just so I could go to school and just focus on it.
Good for you.
You know, and just,
most people don't do that. Most people don't have the initiative and drive to do that shit, you know? So the fact that it took you only a month to do it is actually, I was kind of in awe. I was struck. I didn't think you were going to actually do it.
I surprised myself a lot too, because like, you know, a lot of, you know, the time that I was there in my school every week, you know, there'd be like at least like 10 people like trying to take a test, you know, like 90% of those people like fail, you know, for the first time and everything.
And that's what those trucking companies do, because it's a business for them. Their job is to pack as many people into those trucks as possible, get them in, get them out, and get on to the next one, right? So sometimes that doesn't really work out to be your advantage, like, because you don't get a whole lot of wheel time, you know? So doing this is going to be good for you, you know? And you know what? From this point on in your life, your pay is not going to be going down ever again. It's only going to go from here on. Your pay is only going up. So, because nobody wants to be a truck driver, and the people who do get their license, a lot of them quit because it's not for everyone. Like, they don't have what it takes. Like, people think, oh, it's easy. You just sit in a truck all day and you know do wait time. Like, okay, go drive up in these hills with this big semi truck, and then go drop rebar on the side of a cliff where the contractor wants it.
Right, like,
you know?
Right, and I was getting that type of feeling, you know, like I was almost like doubting myself, like just, you know, seeing a lot of people fail. Almost gave me a feeling like, man, like this is like, you know, just hearing them come back and like, oh yeah, man, I didn't pass because of this, I didn't pass because of that.
Right.
One little thing, they're so stringent. It made me almost like, you know, want to say like, man, maybe I'm not doing the right thing, you know what I'm saying? But like,
it's discouraging.
Yeah, it's discouraging, very discouraging. So when I had to, you know, pretty much think like, you know, you're not them. No matter what, everybody's different. You know, you could be different. You know, you could maybe like just not be that statistic that's gonna fail. You know, or do this or do that. Not be discouraged by it. You know, like,
You can't quit, for sure. Like, I get like that when I get rejected by women. I get like that too. If I see a girl that I really like at Trader Joe's or something, I go hit her up, like, and she says, oh, even if she's just with a guy, like she's like, oh, I have a boyfriend, like. She probably does have a boyfriend, but in my mind, I'm thinking that she just doesn't like me, you know, like, so, and it brings me down. I get the same way with women, or whatever. It doesn't have to be women, it could be anything in life, you know. I get discouraged too. You just can't quit though.
You just can't ever quit. You'll never have that negative, you
Well, it's good. It's good for you, right, to know that basically from this point on, your pay is only going up, and it's probably going to go up a lot more over the next 5 years than it has in the last 10. Okay, so and that's just going to be the opportunity for you to continuously. And once you get all your hazmat endorsements and stuff like that, it gives you the ability, it gives you more leverage, it gives you more of negotiation power. Like when you go and do an interview with a company, you know, once you get a couple of years of experience, especially you have hazmat, you've got tanker, you've got doubles, you've got triples, it gives you more leverage to ask for more money. And if they're desperate for a driver, and a lot of companies are they want drivers because they got really high turnover rate. It's not for everyone, dude. It's hard, you know. But if you look like a tough kid, and obviously you did it like fun.
So yeah, I mean, like I have like for sure the confidence now to do all that, overcome all those challenges, and like pretty much get those endorsements and everything, pass them on for sure. Because when I did take the test and the driving test and all that, I did pass my first try, and that was like, you know, it was amazing to me. It was like a life changer. It gave me that like
you're like proud of that, super
proud of that especially that confidence booster that I really needed. Like after all,
you could do it.
All the negativity that I was going around in school and whatnot, like now I know I could really do it. You know?
So, yeah, you can do it.
Like, it was for sure something that I know I'm gonna do very great in this field.
Sometimes you just need people to push you, dude, in the right direction. Like, bro, you want to be in a warehouse taping boxes, or you want to, you know? And it's not like, for a lot of people that live in these communities, what you and I make, you know, you're gonna make anywhere from $75,000 to $250,000, depending on what kind of freight you're transporting and stuff like that, right? That's nothing to a lot of people. The people that live in these, they make that a month. They make 200, you know what I mean? Like, so. It's just the next step in your life to moving forward, and hopefully you do this for a couple of years here. Maybe you want to try something else with a different company or whatever, and you go in that direction. That's fine. Like nobody, you know, if there's more money on the table, or you move to a different state, you're always going to have a job. You want to go to Texas and run oil in the oil fields? That'll get you a job tomorrow. You know, especially once you have some experience and you know, all the endorsements, obviously, but. You imagine making $20 an hour and then going and working in the oil fields for a year, just 1 year, and you make $150 grand. You go from $20 an hour, you know, $30,000 a year to $150. It doesn't sound like a lot to a lot of people, but for you, that's going to be life changing, right?
Super life changing. You know, especially coming from my background, you know, like, you know, not having, you know, not being, I don't know what you would say, but like wealthy family or anything. You know,
yeah. So where did you grow up in life? Where are you from? Van Nuys? Where are you from?
No, I grew up here in Canoga Park.
Canoga Park, okay.
Yeah, and in an area, in the neighborhood where it wasn't too great, you know, a lot of gang-related activity and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah.
You know, just definitely grew up in a, like, you know, you gotta know how to fight, you know, stand your ground type thing, or, you know, police was never the way to go and whatnot, you know, so it was very a tough background, you know, like, and it toughened me up, maybe the person I am today, you know, like.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely think about that a lot as I'm growing up now, like, you know, I'm not being like stupid no more, not thinking like, oh, this is like using my pride, you know, like always, you know, to like situations. Now I gotta like, you know, sometimes really put that aside and just think about like the future now, but always remember how I grew up and like use that as my drive to like, you know, I overcame these challenges when I was young, and now like it's pretty much gonna take me to a life.
Yeah, that's good. Good for you. You know, like I said earlier, like you know, I told you I was proud of you, and I don't even know you. You know what I'm saying? The fact that you had enough initiative to actually do what you said that you were going to do, and actually did it. You know, so and life could be a lot worse. I mean, look at this shit.
Yeah.
Right? Like you're pretty fortunate too, and it looks like from this point on in your life, the trend is going to be upward. You know, you're going in the right direction, so that's good. Good for you. This is your first time seeing this,
yeah,
right?
This is definitely like an eye opener. I don't know. I just honestly like this is like really bad. I feel like
it's indescribable, right?
It feels. I wouldn't even say feeling bad is the right word to say because it's just I never thought this would happen. Especially you would think next to the beach or anything, all these houses are gonna burn down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
You would just think like this shit would not happen. You know what I'm saying? And just natural disasters are pretty much like the worst case scenario. A lot of these people they work hard to be where they're at right now, getting these houses and whatnot, leaking out, and then one freaking day everything's looking down.
Unbelievable, dude. I don't think in a million years I didn't think that this would happen. I thought maybe the likelihood of an earthquake happening and a tsunami or something like that hitting these houses would have been much higher than a fire capable of jumping from one side of the road to the other and wiping out every single house. Like in the Palisades, dude, it's like there's tens of thousands of houses, bro. And it's the Eaton Fire too, and Altadena and Pasadena and Malibu going up ahead, so.
And it's still sad to me too, even though all this craziness is happening, you still see people people trying to fucking take shit from people's houses and shit.
Yeah, there's
what the fuck?
people trying to rob places. Yeah.
People don't have no fucking shame in themselves. They're this shit shameless. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How are you gonna see these people's houses burn down and still have the thought of I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna take that?
Yeah, there's some people in this world, dude, that just they're thoughtless. They're thoughtless and they don't really care, dude. They just it's just an opportunity for them. And you know what? Going forward, the thievery is one thing. You're gonna have people going into these burned down communities and exploiting it by stealing stuff. Whatever things that didn't get burned down. It could be a pot or a vase or some chairs, some lawn chairs that didn't get burned up. People are going into here and stealing those types of things. But that's nothing in comparison to the amount of insurance fraud that's going to take place. How many people are going to commit fraudulent claims against the insurance companies and say that certain things in their house got burned up when they didn't? Bro, there's going to be so much fraud, billions of dollars worth of fraud. The real crimes, where the real money's at. Stealing a vase and some chairs and stuff like that, that's stupid. That's what losers do, right? The real money's going to be insurance fraud, and they're already starting, tens of thousands of dollars, probably billions of dollars worth of insurance fraud. So, and then it makes you wonder if, Kevin, the other day I go to a job site, you see all these little caissons in the water.
Yeah.
These houses were built in the 60s and the 70s. These are little concrete pillars that they built in the 60s and 70s and 80s. The codes back then were way different. Now, if you want to build a house, oh my God, on the beach, I posted a video the other day of this company that was putting caissons in the ground.
Yeah.
These are 6 foot wide caissons, and they have to go 108 feet deep in the ground. You got to dredge 108 feet deep in the ocean, a hole, and put this giant cage made of reinforced rebar, fill it with concrete. The guy told me just to build the foundation, Kevin, $10 million. Just to build the foundation. That's not even to build the house on top of it. $10 million for the caissons and the foundation, and then probably $30 million to build the house on top. Maybe not $30 million. It depends on how elaborate the house will be. But
the time that it will take, all the time that it will take to build, rebuild everything.
The dude told me it took 3 years to dredge out the water, dig down the holes, and put the caissons in. 3 years just to do the foundation. Then they got to build the house on top of it. And that's if everything goes smoothly. The Coastal Commission's going to go in there, and on a day that it rains, and the hole's going to get filled up with a foot of water, and they're going to say, oh, shut down the job site. The walls look like they're going to cave in. And that's going to delay it another 6 months. They got to pump out all the water. Dude, some people say this is going to take 18 months to rebuild. They're out of their minds, dude. This is going to take the next 8 to 10 years to rebuild.
And then another thing about, and if the insurance doesn't even pay up for these people's houses, these people are left with nothing, you know what I'm saying? They're whatever savings they had, probably, to sustain them for the rest of their lives is probably going to be all gone,
Oh, for sure, dude.
So it's just it's a mess all around.
It's crazy, right? You've never seen anything like it?
No,
it's terrible. Yeah. And this is nothing in comparison to some of the areas when you go through the residential neighborhoods in the Palisades. This is nothing in comparison to that. These are more, These are more expensive homes because they're right on the beach. and these are going to take a lot longer to rebuild these homes as opposed to the Palisades. But the amount of homes that got damaged up there is 100 times more. You know, it's just thousands and thousands and thousands, dude. It just goes and goes and goes. And like you said, for a lot of people, this will probably bankrupt them.
Exactly.
You think they have, how many of these people who live on this beach have $10 million to dig a hole and wait 3 years? They don't. They don't have the money. They're going to take the money from the insurance company, pay off the mortgage, and they're probably going to leave because they don't have the time to. And for the ones that do have the time and the money, they're going to tear these things down and they're going to build mega mansions. You know? So.
This is what, like, you know, it makes you think, like, you know, like power and what, like, money does to people sometimes, you know, when you can take advantage of somebody or something like that, you know, like, there's always something, like,
absolutely.
bad or there's always someone's trying to, like, you know,
come up,
you know, stuff like that. Like, I mean, these, like, situations that are, like, bad, it's supposed to, like, helping people or something, you know, like, whatever happened to, like, helping other people, like, so, like,
people
trying
just
to take their stuff and trying to take their shit.
Yeah, they throw that out the window, dude. When there's money involved, like, you know, money over everything. That's just how these people become wealthy more often than not, dude. Is they just have this I don't care mentality, and just, you know, they don't. There's, I promise you, for a lot of investors, this is the opportunity of a lifetime. They see these houses burn down to the ground, and they see dollar signs. You know, they're finally going to be able to get the house that they want. Right on the beach. You know? It's sad, but it's true. And there's some of these people, they self-insure. Like they don't have the necessary insurance to cover all of this. You know? Or maybe they were just extremely wealthy and they had a paid off house and they didn't need insurance. So it was cheaper for them to just self-insure. So some of these guys, they're out completely, and they're not going to be getting an insurance check, you know? They're out millions of dollars. So, and some of these job sites, Kevin, I would deliver to, right here on the wall. Like, they just rebuilt some of these houses, and now they're all gone. Like, they've been rebuilding it for 2 years. And as soon as they got completed, done, dude, done. It's going to bankrupt people. The unemployment rate's going up, bankruptcy rate's going up. Some of these houses will go in foreclosure because they're just going to walk away. You know? And that kind of makes you wonder, like, what do you think will happen to the real estate market in this economy? You know? What's going to happen? And then, if you're an insurance company, Kevin, would you want to continue selling insurance to these people? Probably not. Probably not.
It's like, you know, they're not going to want to, you know, waste their business on something natural disaster, you know, because they want to keep all the money for themselves.
It's not a matter of if it's going to happen again. It's when there's an earthquake and it's not a wildfire. Now it's going to be a tsunami that wipes us out. So there's a lot of questions still revolving around whether or not these communities will be insurable in the future, which is very unknown. Nobody knows. Anyone who says that they know is lying. But I would assume that from an insurance perspective, if I was an insurance company, would I want to continue doing business in a wildfire susceptible area like the Palisades? And no, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. Because they're going to lose billions of dollars right now. And some of these insurance companies are going to go bankrupt, Kevin. Like, you know, they don't have. You think that they have $250 billion on hand on the sidelines?
It's just sad that not enough effect that this gave to pretty much everything and everybody in people's lives that are never going to be the same.
Yeah.
They're never going to come back to living maybe as good as they were living before, you know, like, just start a new life, start over again, you know, like, just,
right.
It's just the craziest fucking thing ever, like, you know, we're just, I don't even know how, like, this stupid fire could have started for all we know for a fucking cigarette.
Yeah, no, and that's probably what did happen, dude. It was probably either a cigarette, or it could have been a power line, or it could have been some homeless guy living in a tent. And, you know, because during that time of the day, it was the Santa Ana winds were popping off, and a tent flew into a power line. Like, it just happens, you know, these freakish things happen. So, and nobody's to blame 100%. Like, obviously, like, I think, like, there are certain aspects where people are to blame. Like, there's no water in the fire hydrants. Like, somebody's to blame for that, for sure. You spend billions of dollars in tax money, and there's no water in the fire hydrants? Okay, somebody needs to get fired, okay? Who's in charge of the water being in the fire hydrants? That person needs to lose their job, you know? You know, that's unbelievable.
Definitely need more resources, you know, when it comes to our fire department and everything. I'm just saying, you know, I mean, kudos to them, you know, for doing the best out that they can. But, like,
Yeah.
we definitely need to, like, invest more.
They need more money, but instead they're cutting money.
Right.
They cut $17 million worth of resources to the fire department. You know, like, that's not cool. And especially if people are pushing this, like, global warming, climate change agenda, which you would think, okay, since we're going through global warming and climate change and we're more susceptible to these wildfires and natural disasters, why would you be de-investing money and resources towards the fire department? Like, you should be allocating more money, not less, you know? So, but the truth is that's all a lie. The truth is the state is broke. The state is $500 billion in debt, and their CalPERS pension fund is insolvent. You know, so they're cutting corners on every aspect that they can. You know, let's cut money from the police department. Let's cut money from the fire department. Let's fire a couple of people from here. Let's cut money from the LAUSD. You know, like the state is insolvent, and in the meantime they're raising more taxes. You know, like it's too much, dude. It's mafia. It's like the biggest mafia in the world, dude. And this is what you get. You get homeless everywhere and drug addicts and no water in the fire hydrants for all this tax dollars. Like, how's that good, bro? That's terrible. So there, in my opinion, there needs to be some change at the top. Sure. Because obviously what we're doing isn't working. You know? So, you know, that's just my personal opinion. And but it's a little too late for that. Like, the damage is already done, right? We'll see what happens over the next 10 years. That was just a little glimpse of Malibu. So basically up ahead, there's no more. There is some more fire damage up ahead, but for the most part, it's all behind us. Yeah, up in the Palisades. So what did you think? It was just eye-opening for you?
It's breathtaking. It's eye-opening. It's just like, it makes you just think, like, man, like, sometimes, you know, living in a nice place, you know, trying to have good money is really hard sometimes, you know. But,
yeah.
Like, I know people always want to be on top. Everybody wants to be, you know, have money, have this, you know, even like a little bit of fame, you know, whatever it is. But people always want to be big. But, like, is it sometimes worth, like, risking all of us, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just think to yourself, maybe sometimes what you have is what you got is like the best thing for you, you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe it's that, you know.
Be more appreciative for the little things, you know.
Exactly.
You got blessed with your health and your you know, your little bit of money that you got, because some of these people are going broke. But for some people, this will be the best thing that ever happened to them.
Yeah.
Some people, this will be, their parents gave them a house back in, you know, the 90s, right? And the insurance company is going to write them a check for millions of dollars, but they inherited the home. For a lot of people, this might be the best, maybe not a lot, but some, you know, like I'll give you an example. I was in Malibu probably a couple of years ago, and these guys had a tiny little home that got burned up in a fire. The guy told me he bought the house back in the 80s for a couple $100,000, you know, a tiny little old rundown beat up shack in Malibu. He's getting a check from the insurance company for like $5-6 million, you know, and he's gonna build this, what was this tiny little shack, now he's gonna build the Taj Mahal. So for that guy, it's the best thing that ever happened to him. You see?
Yeah.
So
I guess, you know, some people will make more money off of this, and then some people won't. You know, some people will live better. Some people won't. I mean, it's just.
it depends on when you bought and whether or not you had full coverage, and you know.
It's just sometimes it's how life is set, and you know, like some people bond up, some people just
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's it. It was nice to make this quick little video on YouTube. All right, and I just wanted to introduce you, and we're gonna be in the truck for a little bit longer, you know, going forward, probably for like another couple of months. So just stay on side. That's Kev Dog, Kevin Cam. All right, we'll talk to you. See you later, guys. Until next time.